Hey guys, I'm Matt, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing a movie review on Scream 7, so let's begin with this review. So, finally haven't got around to watch Scream 7 because I was underage legally to watch in cinemas around 3 weeks after its release. I know basically 90% of everyone has probably seen Scream 7 by now, but just in case to anyone who's still not seen it, this review will contain spoilers, so with that out of the way, let's begin with the review. The latest installment in what I consider one of the best slasher franchises of all time is, quite frankly, and I still can't believe I'm saying this, and these words are coming out of my mouth for real, the worst Scream film. Wow, I dare I said it. This is genuinely my least favourite Scream film. I do think this is the worst Scream film that has been released, and it is now taking the number one spot for worst Scream film, overtaking Scream 3. Scream 3 is now not the worst Scream film. That is crazy. It's been like that for 26 years, pretty much. Scream 3 as the worst film of the franchise, but now Scream 7 is finally taking that title, so yeah, pretty crazy to say the least, but I'm going to be brutally honest, so here we are. So starting off with the positives of the film, of course, the big part of this film that makes this film really, really good in my opinion is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ghostface, my personal favourite slasher film. I don't care how many times he appears in the films, it never gets old just seeing him in all his aura and glory appearing on the screen. In this film, it's not a trio like before, but instead of a revenge motive, it's an obsession motive, and yeah, it's quite strange seeing that because Scream has always been either a revenge motive or a kind of, I guess, jealousy motive, but in this case, I guess it's them trying to be creative for the seventh film, and 7 films in, you've got to do something different, I suppose. So, in this film, instead of like a crazy trio or duo wanting revenge for Sydney killing off someone of their family or them being jealous of Sydney getting all the spotlight, it's just a bunch of people being obsessed with Sydney and they want to make Sydney's daughter Tatum the next Sydney final girl, and it's really strange to see, honestly. I still don't know why they actually chose to go with that concept in the end, because it's definitely the weirdest concept or motive, sorry, for any Ghostface. And speaking of the Ghostfaces as well, there is obviously 3 Ghostfaces in this film, and easily hands down the best one is Carl Gibbs out of the 3. He is undoubtedly the strongest out of the 3. He is miles ahead of Jessica and Marco. He takes down a trained police officer who is Sydney's husband with ease, showing some of the best hand-to-hand combat from a Ghostface since Roman Bridger. And he stabs clean through a skull as well in the Marker house. Or at least I think that was him in the opening. You guys probably have different opinions on who that was, but I do believe that was Carl. I can't see Jessica, or Jessica possibly, but I can't see Jessica or Marco doing what Carl could do. Carl is the best Ghostface in this film, and yeah, he's really enjoyable. It's just too bad he gets killed halfway through the film, getting ran over by Gale Weathers. Jessica and Marco. Jessica, for my opinion, is probably the strongest now the strongest female Ghostface, overtaking Amber Freeman before. She's just simply like the one that displays the most feats. Her feats are unmatched between any of the other female Ghostfaces. She's stronger than Nancy, stronger than Quinn, stronger than, Jill, stronger than Amber now. She literally lifts up her own son and impales him on a beer dispenser thing in the bar. I don't know what you call those. And yeah, she's got a decent durability as well. Shot a few times without bulletproof vest. Just the sort of basic Ghostface durability, I suppose, and decent travel speed, decent IQ. She's probably the smartest out of the 3 Ghostfaces in this film, and she's just pure crazy as well. She literally kills her own son. That is some crazy shit. Marco was definitely the weakest out of the 3. You'd think he'd be a bit strong because of he's a male. I mean, I don't know if that's a stereotypical thing for a Ghostface, but he's not got anything going for me. He is really weak. He is genuinely probably one of the weakest Ghostfaces down there with like Richie Kirsch and Ethan Landry. He does nothing apart from the AI stuff. You can see the AI deep fakes in this film, which are kind of cool, but other than that, he does nothing. Like, you only actually see him on screen like for 3 seconds when Sydney and Gale visit the psychiatric hospital, and after that we don't see him until the Ghostface reveal. It's so random. Like, out of all the people, why would they pick Marco? Like, I genuinely is random. I don't get that. Like, why would you pick the most random people? And even then, like, the other Ghostfaces, apart from maybe Jessica, then again, these Ghostfaces don't get enough screen time before they reveal. Even, like, Carl only got 1 second of screen time before he was revealed as Ghostface. And that was just a simple, like, shot of him at the coffee shop, at Sydney's coffee shop, getting his coffee and then walking away, giving Sydney like a strange stare, and he walks away. Like, it's really, really strange and frustrating that these Ghostfaces in this film don't get like the amount of screen time that previous Ghostfaces gone. It's just really, really frustrating. I've said it before, but like, at least give us more screen time before they get revealed as Ghostface, so we can actually get an insight of what their character's like, not just show them for 3 seconds and then plop them into Act 3 and reveal them as Ghostface. Going back to the creative things that this film did with the change of motive being the obsession of Sydney, the whole AI deepfake thing was creative and entertaining to watch, I'm not going to lie, and it at least tried to do something different, which I respected. And it was just really nice to see Matthew Lillard back as Stu, even if it wasn't actually him in the flesh. It was just really hilarious as well to see all the Stu fanboys just kind of get annoyed at the film because they were promised, apparently, by the producers and filmmakers that Stu was going to return. Which was simply untrue. Like, they just assumed that Stu was back because of the voiceovers and lines we heard in the trailer, which I kind of suspected was not actually Stu. Scream isn't the slasher franchise to be supernatural or bring back dead characters from previous films, and if it was to do that, it would be through like a hallucination or, AI thing, sort of thing. So, yeah, the fact that Stu comes back as AI makes perfect sense for me, in my opinion, and it's better that way. I mean, it would have been nice to see Stu come back, but unfortunately Scream isn't like that. Laurie Metcalf and Scott the Goat Foley also reprised roles as Nancy Loomis and Roman Bridger, who is my favourite Ghostface in AI deepfake form. I can't lie, seeing Roman Bridger finally on the screen again was an absolute fantastic moment. That was probably one of the best parts of the film, if I'm being honest. Like, that was such a cool bit. I also love the opening sequence in this film. This film's opening sequence might be the best Scream opening sequence in any of the Scream films to date since the original. The only one obviously being the original that it doesn't surpass. I think it does surpass 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This opening sequence was genuinely a great sequence. I really liked it actually. The fact that we get to see the mock house all abandoned, well not abandoned, but just all isolated and just quiet. We're not used to that. Usually it's a party or something. We see so many people there, but the fact that it's turned into a museum now, an attraction, and just has so many references and just points back to the old Scream films is just a really, really nice touch. Ghostface is also extra brutal in the sequence, which is fantastic. He's not messing around. I can't tell if this was Carl or Jessica. It can't be Marco. Like, I am 100% confident and sure that there was no way Marco was the Ghostface. Several really, really nice shots in that sequence as well that really stand out to me. It's almost like the director, Kevin Williamson, just looked at Halloween and took some massive inspiration from it. There are some really, really nice shots of times where like the couple are just standing in the house and in the darkness, just in the background, is Ghostface just standing there ominously. It's really, really good actually, and it's some proper nice cinematography and shots there, utilising the, creepiness and kind of ominous vibe that the Stu Mocker House has. But I'd say, stabbing through a full-on skull clean with a buck 120 knife and just tanking a full-on fall from the second story of the house onto the hard wooden floor is not too bad for Ghostface's, feats and what he can do. This honestly was really fun to watch, and the fact that he ended up burning the entire Mocker House after that was also a really, really nice touch. I actually quite like that shot of him walking out the house with the house on fire. That is kind of cool, and unfortunately though he didn't say I'm going to burn it all down just like in the trailers, but honestly it was fine because the whole sequence was fantastic. But anyway, moving on to the negatives. Fortunately, there's probably a bit more negatives than positives than I would like to say for this film, and yeah, just repeated plot, not great pacing, and some of the worst Ghostfaces that ever appeared on screen bring this film down a lot. I mean, God, Marco and Jessica make Ethan and Quinn look like fantastic Ghostfaces. That's just how bad they are. Actually, I just realised, I think Carl was the first Ghostface to die before Act 3 in any Scream films. So that's the first. I'm not sure what it was with the pacing in this film, but the pacing was actually, honestly, awful. It was really, really rushed. I think it's the only Scream film where I feel like the pacing is just pure bad. It's like unredeemable bad. And it's really disappointing because all the Scream films before this, 1 to 6, have all had really, really nice pacing, and their acts throughout the film are also really, really good. They're not too rushed, they're actually at a good pace. And for some reason, I don't know what it was with the script, I think it has a lot to do with the firing of Melissa Barrera halfway during production, and, Jenna Ortega, both their characters leaving. But the fact that the pacing, it was just so rushed, they cut from one thing to another in a matter of seconds, and that's not like Scream. Scream isn't something to, rush itself. It's supposed to take its time. It's supposed to let the audience let things sink in and take clues and then finally guess who the killer is. So when the film kind of rushes to the third act in what feels like 5 minutes, it just doesn't feel like Scream, which is really disappointing. I do believe a lot of that issue comes from the firing of, Jenna Ortega, or not Jenna Ortega, she wasn't fired, but Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega leaving. If they had just kept their characters in, this film definitely would have the potential to be just really good, so much better than its current state, and it's disappointing because I know Scream 7 had this potential to be better, but it just isn't. Anyways, my final thoughts on Scream 7 are really mixed, but being a Scream fan, I naturally lean towards being nice, so I'd probably give this a 3 out of 5 stars and a 6 out of 10. It is genuinely a disappointing Scream film, but overall as a film, it's probably just an okay film. But Kevin Williamson, I know he's a good director, he's a good screenwriter as well. And I know if he had just been maybe given, better maybe script writers, or managed to keep Melissa and Jenna in the film, then this film would have been a perfectly good Scream film. It's not horrible, this film, but it's just not great either. It's just a bit of an in the middle of the road film for me, so yeah. But anyways, thank you for watching this review. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe if you want to. Comment down below what you think of this film, if you've seen it or not. And that's it for this review. Until next video, bye bye.